what squeezing gets you, buddy.
If you're a member of our YouTube community, you get access to unique emojis such as that one.
The other one, the
I can't
ace,
stop
is a tie.
squeezing. No, I knew
We
it wasn't.
got
an ace.
Helmuth emojis and Showman emojis also.
But I
Man,
thought it
we
was
got it
the-
all for this occasion.
You should have looked back.
Yeah. Another good read by you. Must have known I was squeezing. I believed in my bones. I had eights up and the spades. You know what I mean?
Awesome advice. You should have back.
Yeah, no, it's true.
I believed
can't
in my
stop
bones
squeezing.
you were going to start messing with me.
I know you did. I know. But, you know, we've played cash together, so you know what I mean?
This episode of Weekly Poker Hand features a very weird situation I have never seen at the poker table. So make sure you stick around all the way to the end. We are playing in a $10,000 buy-in tournament in the PokerGo Studio, playing 6,000, 12,000. Jesse Lonis is folded to in the small blind. He is a good, strong, loose, aggressive battling player. He's been crushing the tournament circuit recently. He limps the King of Hearts 10 of clubs, which is perfectly fine and viable. Some people think you have to always raise your big cards pre-flop from the small blind, but no. If you're playing good, strong poker against good opponents, you need to make sure you're playing relatively balanced. He opts to limp. Then, Shannon Shorr, poker coaching coach extraordinaire, who's actually the best man at my wedding. He has pocket nines and raises to 42,000. This is a scenario where if you do raise against a small blind limp, you want to be very polarized. You want to be raising with a lot of your best hands that can easily call an all-in, like pocket nines, and then just a lot of junk, like king 2 offsuit, queen 3 offsuit, etc., etc., etc. Make sure you check out the charts at pokercoaching.com because they're all there. It makes it really, really clear what to do. Lonis has a very reasonable spot to call. Believe it or not, in game theory optimal world, he can actually rip it all in with the king 10 offsuit a little bit of the time. I would not do that for the most part in tournaments, especially if you're in the middle stages where you're starting to get somewhere near the money. They're not quite there yet, but perhaps half the field is gone. Anyway, he doesn't rip it in. He calls. Let's head to the flop.
There's two types of players out there, players that have played cash with you and players that haven't.
If you only knew the truth, you knew how far off you
Oh,
were.
wow.
I will say,
I know
I know the truth
when we've
you-
played, buddy.
When you and I played cash games in 2010, you were much better than me. At probably 4 of the games. Maybe more. Now, I've mastered every game, which is why I'm deep every day. I just don't have time. I'm trying to make $1 billion. I don't have time to go play 2-4,000.
28.
Wow.
Well, I've
Helmuth
said
and
it. I don't
No, I
mind
respect that.
Showman are back to
Pursuit
it.
of being a
Somebody wants-
billionaire.
If somebody wants to book me, then I'll have to go over there and
No,
make my friends a bunch of money.
we know.
I'll probably just get lucky.
we know.
We got a
get lucky
potential
when
for a
No,
massive
we
one
know.
here.
When I
Shannon Shorr with a set
right.
of nines.
used to play.
You're right.
Jesse Lonis
No,
with
I'm
a
just saying,
top pair.
I'm a complete
Some backdoor
By the way,
draws.
all I meant by that was that just
Flop is a disaster for Lonis. It comes king of clubs, 9 of clubs, 4 of spades. Lonis has top pair, backdoor straight draw, backdoor flush draw. A really good hand. But Shannon Shorr has 3 nines. Lonis checks, as he's going to do with his entire range. And then Shannon Shorr bets 28,000 into the 96,000 pot. I think this is a spot where I probably would have bet just a little bit bigger because the board is so coordinated. I get that top and middle set often will use a smaller size, assuming you're not all that deep stacked. But look, Lonis likes to get in there and battle. I think if you bet a little bit bigger, like 34,000, you just get a little bit more money in the pot in a scenario where I don't think most people are going to view 28,000 and 34,000 all that different. That said, Shannon Shorr is an absolute world-class player. I'm going to presume whatever he did was right. He bets 28,000. Lonis, with his top pair, has a pretty easy call. Let's head to the turn.
I wasn't saying anything about
No,
the results.
no, but you said it's fair though.
Jack
I
of
just mean they're
spades
players
gives
who have never seen you in a
Lonis
cash game
a straight draw as
They don't-
well.
You know what I mean? They don't know
And
quite how.
If you call Eli Lesra and ask him if he saw me win 30 times in a row playing 200, 400, he'll tell you that's true. Pretty easy to confirm.
What do you mean? Once in your life you had that streak, or what do you mean?
Well, 30 in a row, and then I lost 2 of the last 4. But I only risked 10K.
Oh, you've been
That's even
playing.
more.
You've been playing lately.
No, I played a cash game before the series last year.
Okay.
I lost 10K and quit. Somebody told me they'd give me a 50% free roll if I stayed. I still left.
Oh, 50% for like they'd stake you and give you
Correct.
50? Hot and cold? Wow, but you're trying to make $1 billion though, bro.
Billionaire Boys Club.
A Billy, Roger. Not even, not even 200-300 million. A Billy. A cool B.
Well, when you own a piece of the company that's worth 300 million,
You're
next
almost
stop
all
is the billions. I mean, right? I mean,
Exactly.
If you only knew the truth, Nick.
I'm not saying I do.
I mean, Big Pot continues to develop here.
120.
Not much room for us to speak.
23 companies, now it's 26.
As
the
called
Stop
120
the
Shore.
You're an advisor to 26 companies?
Correct.
The turn is the Jack of Spades, putting up the Queen 10 straight and 2 flush draws. Lonis checks. Shannon Shorr decides to bet 120,000 into the 152,000 pot, which is fine and good. On boards where there are 2 flush draws available and you have a hand that's almost always good but vulnerable, and you know you're just not folding it to a raise, very often you want to bet using a relatively big size, which is exactly what Shannon Shorr does. Lonis, with his top pair, okay kicker, and a gut shot, has again a very easy call. Let's go to the river.
All right,
Think about this for 10 years.
400K in the middle. 6 of spades completes
No,
the
I've
board.
heard that.
Backdoor spades
26?
come in.
All right. All right.
Well,
My bad.
it was 24, but I just signed 2 more.
Lonis checks.
Yeah, I know.
Donnie, is this a scary spade for sure, or the fact that
Nick
it's
thinks I'm
backdoor
bullshitting. I told him
still
that I
gives him
spent
plenty
a
of
lot
confidence
money
to
just at the
go for
table
value here?
Making
I
investments.
didn't
He
say.
thought it was bullshit.
I didn't say that. I
Well,
didn't say.
easy. It's hard to believe,
I can certainly
didn't
see
say it.
Shore coming with this one.
but I promise you, all of a sudden I had an extra 200 committed, like out of thin air, because of an email today.
You're right. I do think you're.
Fair.
You're right. I'm not going to
But I
pretend
can show
I
you
don't.
very quickly, though.
I'm not going to pretend I don't.
Yeah, that's fair.
You got me.
Shore pretty deep in the tank here.
All in.
There it is.
Oh, wow.
There is that shove.
Shannon Shorr moves all in, applying that pressure on Lonis, who is deciding for his tournament life.
The river is the 6 of spades. The backdoor flush comes in. Lonis checks. Shannon has a very easy all-in, which is exactly what he does. Let's see how Lonis proceeds.
Donnie, am I correct to say that Lonis has no time bank
Easy to
chips?
check, but hard to believe.
I just think you're using the word
I don't see any.
advisor liberally.
Oh, boy.
Maybe they're behind his chips that we can't
26,
see, but
I mean,
Correct.
But you don't
Yeah, but
have
I'm-
day-to-day dealings with all them. Who would have
Wow.
the time? You know what I mean?
I have
10
every
seconds
contract
means
I
10
signed,
seconds.
Every single one.
Jesse
10 hours
Lonis
a year.
deciding
But
for his
also,
tournament
I've
life with
tattooed
no
all these
time bank
players, all
chips.
these people.
Okay, 10 now. Okay.
Just kind of using my, but they have to believe that I'm
Time.
doing
His hand is
business.
dead.
No, I got you.
Usually
His
I
hand is
do.
dead.
I don't know where my things are. I had a bunch of them.
Wait, what? What? His
Yeah,
time bank
no.
chips are missing?
Are these mine? No, those ones are yours.
Somehow, someway, Lonis does not have his time banks, but he's sure he has his time banks. What do you think should be the ruling in this situation? Let me know in the comment section down below, and then we'll see how the rest of this hand plays out. While you're down there, click the like and subscribe button for me.
What is going
I
on?
have a stack of them.
Okay,
he does?
What?
Where?
Probably.
I
I only
mean,
used one right now. Or-
I'm gonna stop it while we're.
Well,
no, you can keep
Yeah.
it going.
I don't know what we're supposed to do there.
He has.
did he forget to bring them from the other table?
He did
have a
move
bunch.
over
what
late.
was your
Okay.
last seat, Jesse?
Over at table, the front table.
This, I've never seen this before.
Let the floor sort this one out.
This is absurd. Jesse Lonis forgot to bring his time bank chips, is deciding for his
What about
tournament
you, Phil?
life,
You're an advisor. Can you advise a spot for us, or?
and
Well, probably not supposed to stop.
Yeah, you probably should keep your clock going.
Jesse's right with them.
I had at least 6 of them.
Yeah, of course you did.
Yeah.
Jesse Lonis not known for his slow play, so
I forgot my time extensions at the because I know I had at least 5 or 6 of them.
While they're still trying to figure out what should actually happen here, I'll give you my thoughts on it. Given this is a very abnormal poker tournament venue, the PokerGo Studio, where there are only something like 8 tables in the entire room, and they know where you moved from because the room's really small, I think the tournament director should quickly go over to the table where he was to see if his time bank chips were left there. And it turns out they were. Jesse's not running some insane bluff. This is a spot where you can trust Jesse to not blatantly lie to you and say, I have time banks when he doesn't. So given this very odd environment where everyone plays the tournaments all the time, everyone knows each other, I think he should be able to go get his time banks, or the tournament director should bring his time banks over. And interestingly enough, I, Jonathan Little, have actually left my time banks at the table when I moved from seat to seat 2 times over the course of the last 2 years. And I usually get to the table, I'm sitting there, I have my chips set up, I'm looking at my cards, I'm about to play the hand, then I realize, oh, my time banks are gone. Not that I really need them that often, I play quickly like Jesse does, but it's worth noting, right? Like, I have left my time banks, it happens. And that's what I think should happen in this scenario. However, if you're playing a large field tournament, or a tournament where it's not super comfortable and cozy like the PokerGo Studio, where everyone does not know each other, where you cannot trust your opponent to not blatantly lie to you about something like this, I think whatever you have on the table is what you have. It's almost like if you left chips at the other table. I mean, imagine Jesse just left 300,000 in chips at the other table. He forgot to bring them. You know, like, that doesn't fly, right? So I think for the, call it security of the game, especially in spots where the venue does not make it easy to go confirm the guy left his chips at the other table, his time bank chips at the other table, I think whatever you have on the table should play. Poker's interesting in that there are clearly defined rules, but those rules are slightly flexible. And I think this is a spot where the rules should be slightly flexible, but there still has to be a rule in place. And I think the rule in place should be, as a default, if your chips, time bank chips are not on the table, you don't have them. Enough of that. Let's see what actually happens.
This is an absurd situation.
I know I didn't use them all.
Lonis is...
And usually, like, when,
Now you have to pause it.
like, if there's just time
don't
banks
know.
left on a table, they
Paul.
might just take them and, like,
They
put them
might.
away.
Because the clock's running at the same time.
Yeah.
I stopped it for a
I think we already gave him a 20-second, but I don't know, but seems fair.
Well,
I'm
I would
just
love
speaking
to-
in fairness.
I know I had some.
But
Talk to Shannon Shorr about what's going on right now.
Imagine the added stress of the decision when you're worried about how much time you have left, while thinking about your tournament life, while someone is trying to find your time bank
front
chips.
table.
I would
table
probably say that
2,
at this
I think,
point,
yeah.
Shannon feels really good
so-
about his hand and doesn't want Jesse's hand to be killed.
Right.
Because the longer
Okay.
he's thinking here, the longer you think your hand is good, obviously. So,
Did Paul Campbell just say, I'm going to give you 40 seconds? I couldn't really tell what he said, but there's no time bank.
By the way, if you don't believe me,
Chips.
all you have to do is ask Carrie Katz.
You know what? It's not that I don't believe
Be
you.
that quick. They'll say, yes, it's all true.
It's more that I don't give a.
That's fair.
Jesse
Fair,
Lonis
but I just don't like
in
it.
a tough spot here. Oh, he makes the call. It's over for Jesse Lonis. He's out. Shannon Shorr
Yeah.
rakes in an absolutely massive pot, is now up to almost 1 million chips. And I'm not sure if the time extension chips being missing had any impact here on Jesse Lonis' decision, Donnie. Was he thrown off
Yeah, I know
his
I had-
thinking
I know
pattern
I
or
had a
process?
weird spot, yeah.
yeah, it might have just
That's a weird spot.
made him a little bit more flustered
I'm not sure. I
with
must have
things.
lost.
Probably you
Yeah.
gotta just go by what's on the table, but it's also so up. Jesse doesn't burn banks ever. Like, it's legit. He won't lie, but it's a weird
After
spot.
a long while, who knows how many time banks they would have taken from him, he decides to make the call. This is a fine spot to call with the King 10. I mean, it's an unfortunate scenario, but Shannon Shorr gets in there. He battles. If you give him a random Queen of Spades or a random 10 of Spades, he will rip it all in your face. So King 10 has to call, and it loses. When you move from table to table, make sure you take not just your chips, but also your time banks. I'll talk to you next time.